everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a Q&A, my first Q&A, and I'm really excited. I actually love watching Q&A YouTube videos. So I asked some questions on my social media, on my Facebook and also my Instagram, to see if anyone had any questions, and I was really happy with some of the questions I got, all of the questions I got. I was like, oh, good question, because there were things I wouldn't have thought of, and so I think it's going to be a fun video where I spill the tea based on what you've asked me. Anyway, okay, so as I said, I posted the thing on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram already, then I will put it in my description. It's at Kat Markham, KatMarkham. So if you'd like to go and follow me over there, that'd be awesome, and let me know how you found me. You found me here on YouTube, and I would love to hear from you, and yeah, connect over there. So I am going to move on to the questions. Just to give you a summary of kind of what we're going to cover here, I've been asked some questions about my life as a performer and what it was like being at drama school. So if you haven't been on my channel before, then my name's Katrina.
Hi, my name's Katrina.
And I've just started doing YouTube. This is my 4th video, and I have so many ideas and things planned that I'm excited to do. In my first video, I spoke about how I went to Italia Conti, which is a drama school in London where I studied musical theatre. I've kind of had a year of being out in the industry and learning what it's like to be a performer and how to do that and how to navigate that. I'm of course still learning, and I think I always will be. It's definitely been a crazy ride, but yes, it's been lots of fun as well. And hopefully this Q&A will help you all to get to know me more. So yeah, there's been questions about drama school and about performing, also about faith. If you watched my first video, you'll also know that I'm a Christian, and that's something I'd love to talk about in my videos. So let's move on to the questions. So I've moved backgrounds because I realised the white wall and the white cardigan is just all too bland. Anyway, you can look at Bobby Moore instead. So my first question is, what are my top 3 musicals? Now this was really hard. I was like really struggling when I was thinking about this. I was like, top 3. I've done top 5 quite easily, but top 3 is difficult. Then I'm going to tell you secretly, if I had to give my 2 other favourites, and again, these would be my top 5, and I wouldn't even want to rank them. I love these shows so much. You've really put me in an impossible situation here. Impossible position. Person who asked this question. I'm just going to say it. Top 5. Beautiful, Frozen, Matilda, Hamilton and Made in Dagenham. Don't come at me. Okay, moving on. One of my questions was, if I didn't do musical theatre, what job would I do? So what's a job I'd like to do if I didn't do musical theatre? A job for me that I would want to do if I hadn't gone down the musical theatre path would be working in a secondary school. I think all to do with my other like dream jobs were mainly to do with childcare or working with children or young people. One of them for me that I think is the one that I would pick to answer this question is to do like pastoral care or something of that sort in a secondary school. Either being in like the pastoral care department or maybe being a head of house. I'm really interested in like the well-being of students and like behaviour and just helping students. And the reason for that is because when I was at secondary school, I had some like really tough times that teachers absolutely helped me with. Just the school environment was such a support network for me, and that's something I'd be really interested in doing, speaking to students, helping with behaviour related issues or mental health things and just general well-being stuff, and really investing in the student as a person. I've got another question about performing here, and the question is, what got you into performing? So this is a good question because I think it's quite a good story, and I've not necessarily told loads of people this story. Where do I start? Okay, so I always danced from when I was really young, like 3 years old. I just went to a dance school. It was for fun, it was a hobby. And then from very young age as well, they introduced like a drama club. So I would do the drama club, and there wasn't many of us that did it. I always remember so fondly, like there was just for years just 4 of us that would do it every morning before the rest of our class would come in to dance. We would do a drama class together, And it was fun, actually. It was really fun. I used to be super shy though. I was so shy. That's another story. I used to find it terrifying. Okay, so this is kind of where the story starts. When I was like 14, this drama club, there was 4 of us, we were doing a Christmas show and they asked us to sing a Christmas song, and none of us saw ourselves as singers. We were like, and anyway, we all ended up doing it. And I was at home practicing, and my parents, apparently, I always remember, like, they looked at each other and they heard me sing and they were like, huh? She actually sounds okay here. So that's where it started. I was kind of getting that encouragement of them saying, oh, you can got a voice there, Katrina. And they would not say that if they didn't mean it, trust me. Then the same year, there was this local company that would put on a one-night musical in Her Majesty's Theatre in the West End. And so they would get local students to be in this musical. They'd have the main characters and then they'd have the choir. The main characters were usually older children. Sometimes younger ones would be in it too. And by older children, I mean like 16, 17-year-olds. So not really children, but you know what I mean. I was like 14, and in previous shows, my friends had said that they would have dancers. And at the time, that was more just what did more. I went in thinking, I'm going to do the dance audition. And then he was like, no, he didn't say it like that. He was like, no, we're not looking for dancers. We're looking for the choir. So you need to sing. I'd kind of prepared a song just in case. I decided it was Skyscraper by Demi Lovato. And I was like, I'm just going to go to this audition. I'm going to ask to dance. And if he says no, I will sing Skyscraper by Demi Lovato kind of thing. I was so nervous because he asked me to sing. I sang this little song. And my voice was so shaky, I was so nervous. And the man goes to me, you can sing. Why don't you think you can sing? And I was like, I don't know. He was like, you can sing. And that was, again, just starting to make me think, okay, maybe there's potential here, you know? And I got a part in the choir and we did that. It was so fun. My friends, if you're watching this, that were in Synergy Street, that's what it was called. It was this musical that had been written. We did one night in Her Majesty's Theatre. We would go every week after school to rehearse. It was so fun. Anyway, I'm just laughing because I've got funny memories from doing that. And like me and my friends, we used to walk from school. It was about a 40-minute walk from our school to the college where they would rehearse, and we would sing the whole way down. And so that's where my musical kind of experience of being in shows started. I had done the school productions in year 7 and year 8, but I was shy, as I said, and I wanted to be on the ensemble. I didn't want to do anything else. Anyway, so year 9, this is when I'm in year 9, all this stuff started happening. There was the musical, there was the thing where I was singing in this Christmas show at college, at my dance school. And then auditions came up for our school was doing a school production of Oliver Twist. I obviously had already done these things. I'd started to build a bit of confidence here and started to, I suppose I was practicing my singing and stuff and just building confidence with actually singing. I was starting to actually think maybe I have potential here, you know, because people were saying it to me. So then I was like, do you know what? I'm going to audition to be Nancy in Oliver. I went to the acting audition and my teacher, she looked on the form or whatever that I'd written and saw that it was Nancy. And this was my music teacher, and I'd never sung for the 3 years or 2.5 years she taught me music in school. I'd never like sung, I guess. And she was like, looked at it and she was like, you do realise you have to sing for this? And I was like, oh no. And I went, I remember this so clearly. I was like, I know, but I sang it to my mum last night and she cried. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but you know. She's like, okay, I look forward to seeing your audition or whatever. And then I think the audition was the next day, and did the audition. That was such a big thing for me because, again, to like sing in front of someone. And I just remember it all felt like this blur. And like, I didn't know what was going on. Once I came out, I couldn't even remember like what had happened, what they'd said and stuff. And so nice to reminisce about this anyway, because this is literally the start of like my dream. I then went into school and this teacher said to me, I remember, I think it was my English teacher. She was like, have you seen the cast list? Or have you seen the printout outside such and such classroom? And I was like, no. And I got there, I saw my name on the list as Nancy. I could not believe it, absolutely couldn't believe it. So that is where it all started. From that, I haven't even explained yet. This is where I think it's super duper cool. Before any of this had happened, all these opportunities that happened in year 9, I prayed. I said to God that I would love to be able to sing. I'd love him to be able to give me a singing voice. And I also prayed that I would get free singing lessons. Kid you not. Then this stuff started happening in year 9. And then as a result of getting the part of Nancy, I didn't know this would be a thing, but I got free singing lessons. Usually you'd have to pay a fair bit of money for those singing lessons in school, you know, when you get music lessons in school. And then I did GCSE music. So I therefore got free singing lessons for my last 2.5/3 years of school life. So literally God answered my prayer. So cool. Anyway, this story is nearly finished. I'll round it up by saying I did Oliver. It was amazing. At first I was so nervous, obviously, and it took me a while for my voice to come out and to not be nervous. My older brother, he said to me, "You were like really good tonight," after I'd done the show. I remember exactly where I was sitting and everything. I was like, "Oh, thanks." And he went, wouldn't you want to do that as a career? And I went, "Yes, I would." And he was like, "Well, why don't you then?" And from that moment, I would say, is the moment I was like, yes, I am going to do it. And I just had such this determination that I think has stayed with me since. I'm like, I know that this is a career that's going to be hard. It makes me quite emotional talking about that. I'm really happy actually to think how far I've come, because so much has happened since. I think I literally need to write a book, because I could honestly tell you so much that's happened and so much that God has brought me through. And it just makes me think, sorry, I know this is probably cheesy, but I'm singing a song soon too at a concert called Times Are Hard for Dreamers from the musical Amelie. And there's these words in it that say, times are hard for dreamers, and who knows, maybe they are. People seem stuck or lost at sea. And I might be a dreamer, but it's gotten me this far, and that is far enough for me. And that just says it really. And like talking about that story really helps me, because times are hard for dreamers sometimes, but I've gotten this far and it's far enough for me. That's all I'm saying. That's emotional. Okay, anyway. Sorry, I don't want to talk too long, but I get so passionate. And it's nice because I'll talk about that another time. But anyway, next question. I'm gonna now talk. Okay, so one question is, how do you keep yourself positive in such a tough industry? And I feel like I've just scratched the surface just there. I'm not going to talk about that just now, because I'm aware I've been talking about performing stuff for a while now. I'll move on, but I will come back to that, because that's such a good question and really poignant. I've got a lot to say about that basically at the moment. So I really like this question. It said, how do you see God whilst you're just walking about? I see him in the beautiful sky and clouds and all the different greens of the trees and the different colours of the flowers and the different shades of bricks. I just thought that was beautiful, and I think it's so true that like God's beauty is everywhere. And there's just times where I'm taken aback by that, because I believe that God created this world and he created it with such love. And sometimes I just look at the beauty of things. I'm sure anyone can relate to when you look at the stars in the sky, or you look at like the mountains and the sea, or just when you've been somewhere where you just see like the beauty of nature. It makes me think, wow. And it makes me think, wow, God, you are a beautiful artist. And so I agree with the person who asked this question. I see God in nature. I also see him in people and in children. I've got so many, my little pals who call me Auntie Kit Kat, my friends' kids, and I just absolutely have always loved spending time with children, looking after children. They teach me so much. They teach me of like living in the presence and of joy and of simplicity and of love. And I see God's goodness and God's love through children and just people. And there's these beautiful lyrics from a song that says, there must be a God, I believe it's true, because I see his love when I look at you. And I just think that's beautiful. I think God created people, and he, like the Bible says, he created us in his image. So he created us to be like God. And I'm not saying we are gods, like, nah. Sorry, I'm definitely not a god, but just we do reflect God's beauty in many ways because his love is in how he created us. Another question, have I got any Bible reading tips? Absolutely. This is something that in the last few years, I feel like I've learned a lot of what helps me with reading the Bible. I'll do a whole separate video about how I've found works for me with reading the Bible. But what I have found is that there's so many different tools you can use to help you, because I used to feel a bit like where to start, or like where do I go with this? Number one, I think just starting in a good place in the Bible is good. The Bible has different chapters, but it doesn't run in chronological order. You can actually read any one chapter in whatever order. But I think if you're new to reading the Bible, a good place to start would be the Gospels, which are Matthew, Mark, Luke and John, and they are accounts of Jesus's life. So that's a really good place to start because it's Jesus's teachings and his life. In terms of just reading the Bible tips in general, so I use an app called Through the Word, and it's an app on my phone that basically has a kind of podcast style commentary for every single chapter in the Bible, and it's amazing. It like breaks it down and in such a fun and relatable way, and like brings it to life. Not that it's not already brought to life, but really engaging. It's really relatable to everyday life. It's really informative as well. And also I use another app which is just called the Bible app, or it's also known as YouVersion. Lots of people have this app. I don't often read a physical Bible personally. I would like to get a new one. I read mainly the Bible from my phone. There's an app, and yeah, you can just get loads on there, loads of plans. In fact, should I show you? Oh no, because I'm filming on my phone. I can't show you. Oh, and they've got this fairly new feature, which is like going through an Instagram story. So you click on it, it has a verse of the day each day. So it has a verse taken from the Bible, which is usually like a sentence long. And then it will have a little video that's like a minute long of someone unpacking the verse, giving you something to think about to do with it. And then it will have like a page long written commentary on it, again, giving you something to think about. Then it will ask you a question. Say it was about, how can you show someone God's love today? And then it will have like 3 options. And it might be like, show kindness to my co-worker. I'm just giving a random example. Do something for my neighbour, or give my friend a nice text. It will say something like that, and you can like click the one you're going to do. So it gives you this practical application. And then it will have like the scripture written in kind of like a nice poster format that you might share on your Instagram, or, you know, something nice like that. So I find that really useful. I've been doing that recently, and then discussing it with my friend, because I think discussing it with a friend also helps you. There are a couple of ways, but I'm going to do a whole separate video about that as well. The last question is a really fun question to end with, but I'm struggling to do it justice, because the question is, what are your favourite drama school memories? Now, this makes me happy because I don't often remember the things that used to happen, but like we've got so many funny memories from drama school. When it says favourite memories, for some reason I just think of funny memories, like that's what comes to mind. There are so many favourite memories. If you watch my previous video, or if you've watched it where I spoke about when I did Made in Dagenham, the musical at college, that is obviously a favourite memory. We worked on that musical for a long time because of the pandemic, and it got postponed, and we were doing stuff on Zoom, but we really got to get our teeth into it and really researched it big time. And I loved living in that world of Made in Dagenham, and I loved the whole process. But so that's a favourite memory of just that time. 3rd year was my favourite year for sure. In fact, that's just made me think of a video idea. I would do like a 1st year summary, 2nd year summary and 3rd year summary of drama school. So for people interested in going to drama school, I can talk about which each of those stages was like for me, because each year was so different. But in terms of like some funny memories, there's so many. There were so many on Zoom as well, because obviously we were training on Zoom during the lockdowns. We'd do 9 till 6 on Zoom, dance classes in the living room, singing, acting, all of it. And I used to film myself a lot because I was able to obviously film my progression, which I really enjoyed actually, because as I was progressing with my dance training and stuff, I was filming myself doing it. There's no one else in the video and stuff like that. and I would just literally be doing it for myself to kind of watch back and track my progress. But there was this one time where I fell over, and it was such a good fall. Like, it was so good. It makes me laugh just thinking about it, because the other thing that was really nice about during lockdown is with my class, I feel like we stayed in touch. We came together in a really lovely way, and we would be speaking on the group chat a lot and just nice things like that. And and so I sent the video on the group chat and literally sabotaged myself, because the next thing I know, it was like, so-and-so saved your video, so-and-so saved your video. Everyone was saving my video to that camera, and it was such a good fall. I'll show you. I've got no shame. I'll show you it. There you go. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. And my friend also put the TikTok thing of it, you know, it's like, oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. Hello, sorry to jump in like this. I'm just editing now, and I realised that we have come to the end of the video, but I didn't film an outro. I'll tell you for why. I had to stop filming at the time, and I thought that I was going to need to film more footage, so I was going to get back in the same cardigan and stuff and film, but then I've realised that it's just the outro we were missing. So you have a nice casual outro here from me, just to say thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you have any more questions, and I will add them to the next Q&A video. And I just want to send loads of love to you all. Also, in this video I was planning to give some life updates, but there just wasn't enough time to do it all in one video, so you can be expecting that soon. Also, I have a vlog coming of my holiday to New York. I went on a trip to New York recently, so I will be uploading a vlog about that soon, and I will also be sharing some quite big life updates with you. So I'm really excited to do that. Most importantly, I hope you're well. I'm sending loads of love, and if you haven't already, please do smash that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. And please do like and share and comment, because it really means a lot, and I love to see comments and see that people have seen this and hopefully enjoyed it. And let me know what you'd like to see in future videos too. And I am sending loads of love. Love, 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 love.